Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. So beautiful to be back. Shabbat Chesed, first time in 3 months for me. Beautiful to see so many familiar faces and to feel this music that has become so much part of our davening. So people say, so Rabbi, how was England? How was London? And it's usually, when you're in Pick and Pay, going down the aisle and you have to sum it up in 15 seconds, standing on one leg, as we say Talmudically. Very difficult question to answer. Essentially it was good, but there was a lot. 3 months is a lot of time. There was a lot going on, and I'm happy to sit down with you for a cup of rooibos tea at some point and tell you the stories, and some of you have read the blogs, so you've got a little sense of what I got up to while I was there. But as I was reading this week's Torah portion, the verse that struck me was this verse, Uvacharta b'chayim. So Moses and the children of Israel, as they have been for the whole of Deuteronomy, it's kind of like Groundhog Day every week. Okay, they're still on the shores of the Jordan River. They still haven't crossed over. Moses is still talking to them and giving them advice. Okay, Netzavim-Vayeilech, double portion of advice. What's Moses up to this time? Well, he's Atem Netzavim Hayom. All of you are here today, standing. Everybody, leaders, advisors, wood choppers, water drawers, men, women, children. You're all here. You're about to cross over. But right now, we're reaffirming this covenant that your parents made back at Mount Sinai 40 years ago, before you cross over into the land. And not just you, but even those Einenu Po, even those who aren't here today, that's us, are in this as well. And then Moses goes on to say, well, God sets before you this day life and death. Uvacharta b'chayim, you should choose life. It's beautiful, beautiful idea. Choose life. It's great. I happened to be in England during the elections. We just had our elections in South Africa. Thank God, went fantastically. Best result, high road. Everyone that I seem to speak to at the moment is optimistic, filled with hope. Even 6 months ago, people were like, oh no, the country is falling apart. And now it's like, whoa, look, fantastic. Everyone's going to come home. Investment pouring in. South Africa, everything is coming up roses. I love that about South Africans. Takes us just a little swing and suddenly, boom, it's fantastic. We're living in the promised land right here, right now. I know it's a fragile hope, and I know we have to keep davening for the Gnu every day, and we do. Let's keep davening for it. Fragile hope is better than no hope. So anyway, I'm in England, and they're having their election, and they're really kind of speaking to Jewish people voting Labour, especially over the last years, was a complex conversation. And there was a point that a switch seemed to flick. And those in North London that I happened to be talking to embraced the sense that Labour could be the future for a turnaround in England. And the posters went up, and everybody suddenly, Labour, 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 all around the whole. A couple of Tory ones as well, but Labour, Labour, Labour. And suddenly the realization that many of the leadership of that Labour Party are Jewish people, and some of them were members of the synagogues that I'd been davening while I was in North London. So it was very interesting to be part of that election process, having been part of this election process here, to see the activism, to see the issues that were being discussed, what was on the table, what were the things that people needed to choose on. And here we have this election that Moses puts to the children of Israel. God puts before you life and death, choose life. And I look at this and I think, well, is that really a choice? Who's going to choose death? Choose life or death? Of course you're going to choose life. Is that even a choice? Of course you want to choose life. We want to live. Maybe there's something else in there. Well, if you look at the commentators, some of the commentators say, well, this isn't just about choosing life. Sometimes in life, we make choices that affirm things and we don't get an immediate reward. And when will we get it? We'll get it in the world to come. Okay? That's okay. A little less satisfying. I'd like to have my rewards right now. And I thought about the fact that there is a cycle of life. As soon as I came back, there are babies being born, thank God. There are funerals to be had. There's a wedding on Sunday. The cycle of life is turning. And when somebody dies, we say the bracha, God is the Dayan Haemet, God is the judge of truth. And we say this bracha to acknowledge that it's not our choice when we die. That isn't our choice. Dayan Haemet, the judge of truth, chooses the length of our days. So, what is this choice? What does it mean to choose life? Well, I looked at a midrash in Sifrei that I thought was helpful. So Sifrei, pretty old, nearly 2,000 years ago, commentary on our Torah portion, all the Torah portions of Devarim, of Deuteronomy. And this commentary says as follows. There is a person that is sitting at a crossroads. It doesn't say who this person is, but as people step up to the crossroads, the person advises them. If you go down that road, it begins with thorns, and then it smooths out to be a very straight and easy path. If you go down that road, it begins as a really smooth and easy path, but after a while, it descends into a thicket of thorns and it becomes difficult. You choose which path you want to walk. Now, Sifrei understands that to be this world and the world to come. So if you do your work now, it might be tough, it might feel like you're walking through thorns, but in the next world, you'll get your reward, it's going to be easy. If you chill in this world, you don't do the necessary work, you're just cruising, the next life, it's not going to be so easy for you, you're going to get it. And again, as I said earlier, this interpretation, while it may be valid, I don't see the evidence of it right now. Yes, please God, I'll get it in the next world, but I would like to understand it now. And that's what I want to offer to you this evening and to us as we make our way into this new year. What could it mean to choose life so that we feel it now, that we feel it in this world? So if we take those crossroads, we know that we can choose an easy path. What might that mean? We can ignore conflicts in our lives. We can not work on those difficult relationships. We can not make the difficult decisions in our business life, personal life, relationship, etc., that we know we need to make, but we put them off, we kick the can down the road. And the road may be easier for those not choices, but at some point, the consequences of not making those decisions will become harder and harder for us to bear. Or we can take the path of the thorns, hard work, deep work, difficult work, that requires us to dig deeply within our own resources and those around us, to make the changes that we know need to be made, to step up with courage and bravery to the things that we need to fix and repair in our lives. And that's not easy. But if we do that work down the line, the consequences for us will be a dramatic improvement in our quality of lives and for those around us as well. So maybe to understand life and death and choosing life, we want to choose a life that is good. We want to choose a life that is rich. We want to choose a life that is full. We want to choose a life of love and blessing. And that's what we're aiming for this Rosh Hashanah. So in these last days of 5784, as we have just a little more opportunity to do that cheshbon hanefesh, that reflection, what are those things that I need to make decisions on? What are those choices that may be hard now, but will bring reward down the track as I make my path in life? On this Shabbos, I wish us the opportunity for reflection, meditation, for thinking about what it is that we need to do. And as Shabbos goes out in those last days of this year, may we have the strength, courage, bravery, resilience to be able to do the hard work that will make our paths, maybe even in the distant future, that much